And I was already informed by my wife not to hand out my codes to my friends, to my internet friends.
Really?
She warned me about you guys trying to get my codes.
We only want you for your codes.
That's what she says.
She's right. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm running through AK variants.
I'm running through sniper rifles, so this is gonna be really, really lame.
I've got through the first AK. I'm on the 5.45 now. I feel like a Russian pig. So, war in Ukraine. What's the latest?
It's happening. You know what? Actually, I haven't caught up with it in like 3 days. I just know that nothing is really happening because Rasputitsa is slowed both sides down.
It's in full swing now. I've seen some pics from the trenches. It does not look good.
No.
Gonna be a lot less feet in the Ukrainian population.
Oh yeah,
Russian too.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, trench foot is gonna be real bad for them because a couple of the pictures I saw earlier, though, they were looking like World War I pictures, just colorized.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's definitely not. But you know what's worse than the situation in Ukraine?
What?
The situation in America, specifically the state of America, right?
Stand by.
Oh, I see.
Enemies inside the perimeter.
Yeah, you like that transition?
That was a terrible transition, and you should feel bad.
Area.
I do feel bad. I'll work on it.
Target area updated. Move to the hard point.
Ooh, that was the most forced thing I've heard since I watched Fox News.
You've watched Fox News?
I have. You gotta get both sides of the story.
What story comes from Fox News, though?
Taking fire over here.
I don't know anyone who reports actually what happened instead of a biased opinion.
Yeah, I mean, some are less biased than others. Vice does okay. I gotta say that.
Wait, the Vice?
Yeah, they do. They do okay.
The guys who did a whole article on what happens when you click on the ads for the porno games?
Yes. Yep.
And actually used the company credit card to see where you end up?
Yeah, that same guys. Yep.
They actually do some investigative journalism. I'll give them that.
They do. They've actually gotten like gotten into a lot of trouble being in places where they weren't supposed to be. Like specifically getting stuck in North Korea with cameras. Yeah. Like creating like international incidents.
Yes. Although honestly, they report on what people want to know.
They do.
We've all seen the porn ad. We want to know what happens when you click, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not putting my credit card in there.
Yeah, I'm definitely not putting my credit card into the porn ad.
But someone out there was willing to do it.
Yeah, they did it for the Vine. For the
They
likes.
did it for the Vice.
Yes. Oh, I missed
They tagged me. Changing max.
Your podiatry training.
The what?
Yeah, I'll just have the text said in chat.
We have someone in chat?
We have one person, yes.
Is it the guy?
It is the guy. The guy of all time. Oh.
Well, I guess we should get on with the state of America.
Yes.
Joe Biden, yes or no?
A soft yes?
Really?
Ultimately, what are you gonna do, right?
Does he just have dementia, or is he senile?
Both?
He definitely has mental conditions of varying severity.
Yeah, probably more than one.
I mean, come on, man.
God No, come on, man. I'm being serious here. I'm serious. We're gonna do it. I'm real serious.
I don't even get any ice cream.
I don't like watching that man eat ice cream. That's just something.
He's no Obama.
He is no Obama. That is correct.
Which is funny, because he worked very closely with Obama for quite a while. And picked up none of his public speaking skills.
I really think Obama was like, Joe, you need to get the fuck out of my limelight and just leave me alone, Joe. You creepy old bastard.
Honestly, vice president is pretty much a ceremonial position.
Yeah. But it's ceremonial until they can steal the election, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Enemies inside the perimeter.
Yeah. But honestly, the whole
Will you
economy...
vote for him again?
Well, I don't want to. That's
Or
the
will you be
thing.
voting for Kanye?
Oh, it's ye all the way, bud.
I mean, we may as well have an openly anti-Semitic black man as president. We've tried everything else.
Yeah, that is true. I mean...
That won't irritate the Jewish population at all.
I don't see how that could irritate anybody, to be honest with you. And honestly, if the Jews really are in charge, like all the anti-Semites say, then...
They won't let him win.
Correct. So...
Or did they let him win as a cover so you to help reinforce the no, we're not in charge?
Yes. No, they wouldn't do that. I'm just saying, like, that would be the best thing to happen to this country is if Kanye got elected. Because it would dispel all the mystery.
You know, I leveled the first AK variant all the way up without a single attachment.
Oh, the stock guns in this game are actually really good.
I think the problem is the attachments are so bad you can't put them on without making it worse.
No, so that's what I saw something about. I don't know. I guess these guys are professionals, but other YouTubers were saying that basically, when you put an attachment on, the negatives do so much to negatively impact the weapon that the positives don't really ever outweigh it. You're better off just leaving them stopped until you can tune them.
And of course, you may as well not mess with an AK. Anyway, they're already perfect.
Yeah, they're the most perfect weapon that Arvin Kalash could ever make.
Mikhail, I believe?
Yeah, it's Mikhail.
Come on now.
I just like
The
saying
man
Arvin.
is a hero.
I just like saying Arvin because it keeps, you know, the naming convention right.
Does it?
Tech, has Joe Biden tried to fuck a turkey before? I'm just curious because I don't know.
Which one was it did that? Was that a Bush?
I think that was a Clinton.
Yeah. Before
Clinton.
Monica came along.
I say I say Clinton because one tried to fuck a turkey and the other one tried to kill a turkey. And I mean, like, killing a turkey's not out of the realm of possibility. It's just the way she did it.
Killing a turkey's fine. There's nothing wrong with killing a turkey.
It's the way she did it. She shot it twice in the back of the head and staged a car crash.
She left it at a foreign embassy and pulled out all troops.
Yes. That's way better.
It's the most humane method to kill a turkey is the Benghazi.
Have your turkey Benghazi this Thanksgiving. That's the only way to kill it.
Oof.
Oh no.
If you commit suicide the next few days, that wasn't me. I swear.
I am in no way suicidal.
I will not take my own life.
Oh god, that was good.
Top tier, right? I brought the A game.
That was, yeah, solid. That was solid S tier right there. But you know what? On the whole partisan thing, though, it is kind of funny to me. Like, I don't know, just the amount of tribalism in politics, right? So it's like both parties are fucking ridiculous, right?
The hate is getting far out of hand.
That's the one reason why I do like Joe right now, is he's not really instilling hate.
He's not coherent enough to. The end result is the same either way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so divisive right now. I don't think anybody can really fix it. Like, not in one term, you know?
Could, but that's beside the point.
Took a round.
We're dissolving the ATF. Nothing bad will happen.
Oh, I would love to dissolve the ATF. Hey, you know what? Actually, though, on that note...
Nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, on that note, I think a lot of the alphabet soup agencies just need to get, I don't know, condensed.
Into one. Like, what is this? Like the LGB? We just start adding letters to an agency and make it do everything.
Yeah, it's the A B C D through
It's
J.
the ATFB, CIA.
Stand by. Friendly UAV on station.
Yeah.
Like, why is this organization called the? Well, you should have seen it before we made an acronym.
Area
Yeah.
updated. Move to the hard point.
The ALCA, the organization without a cool acronym.
No, it's just that there's so many different organizations that all do the same thing.
It's
like
all a
this-
massive money sink.
That's what it is. And
Where
the
are
more-
my tax dollars going specifically?
And the more agencies that you have, the easier it is for them to black budget money, right?
Yeah. Like, oh, that's a classified project, so I'm paying for something. But you won't tell me what it is.
Hey,
Do
this
I own the F-16 fighter jet? I've contributed to paying for them.
UAV is orbiting the
Yeah,
area.
so this isn't actually directly... It isn't directly related to the conversation, but it did get me thinking, because of all the agencies. But do you think Trump made Space Force because they were like, Mr. President, aliens exist, and
And he
we
was
don't really have
scared.
an answer for them. And he's like, I know what to do. We're gonna make the best Air Force there ever was in space. And that's how Space Force started.
I mean, honestly, with all the shit going on in space, we do need a military force, but I would have just branched the Air Force off into it.
Return to base.
Just because there happens to not be air up there, I think we can work around that. Air Force is everything above 100 feet up. Whatever.
Well, yeah, Air Force, they were pretty much the arbiters of whatever space that we had. They were the ones kind of responsible for satellites and shit, right? But I think that's why they separated it. And I also think, too, they probably did that because we do have space weapons in violation of, like, all the treaties that we signed on it. Obviously, I don't have proof of that, but, like, I find it extremely difficult to believe that the U.S. doesn't have space lasers.
Didn't Reagan build space lasers?
Not space lasers made by the Jews, just space lasers.
Yeah, he literally put lasers in space.
Yeah.
Like, here
So-
you go.
So that's the whole point behind, like, the rods from God.
Oh yeah, those are fine.
Yeah, they actually are. So they don't
Did
actually...
you tag this drunk stream again?
No, I didn't.
No, I saw an email pop up.
Yeah, it's kind of started off as that, but... So, no, the rods from God were interesting because they actually circumvent the treaties that we signed.
Because they're not propelled,
Right.
I suppose.
It's
You're like,
some...
oops, I dropped it.
Yeah,
Crater
it's-
appears.
Yeah, it's some wild, like, wordplay that they did with that.
Contracts exist to find ways around them.
Yeah, KKVs, but yeah, kinetic kill vehicles. Yeah,
I liked the one sci-fi show I watched. They had their weapon that was destroying the planet was a giant electromagnet that could pull space debris down and like aim them. You could choose where they would land by altering their trajectory.
Stun grenade out.
Bravo secure.
Cause there's a lot of junk up
We're
there.
taking Charlie.
Yeah, I know there's a bunch of designs floating around right now
Securing
to
Charlie.
try and clear up all the space junk too, because it's becoming a
We
real
control
problem.
Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, we can burn a lot of it up in the atmosphere, but has anyone thought of the pollution that causes?
Yeah, it causes a ton of pollution too, which is wild. Because, you know, you think of space and you're like, it's space. There's plenty of, obviously, space. It's what it is. It's nothing but empty fucking space.
There's no hard line, really.
But no, as every time we send something up, it gets a little more cluttered and makes it a little more difficult to traverse up there. But, yeah.
We may have lost the plot there.
We're losing
Yeah, that
Charlie.
was my fault. I completely derailed it off the
Space is
thing.
cool!
We hold all
Space is
objectives.
cool.
Keep
We can do a whole
them
episode on space alone, but we gotta go back to why America sucks.
America doesn't suck. It is the greatest country on Earth, in spite of flaws it may have.
That is a hill that I am willing to die
UAV
on.
on station.
You may shit on America, but we don't have immigrants pouring into El Salvador.
Enemies
Now,
Yeah.
what we did to El Salvador to cause that is not a topic for today.
Correct. It's honestly not our problem. That's El
But the
Salvador's
fact of
problem.
the matter is, we're better than them.
UAV in the area.
Yeah.
Objective Bravo secure.
I mean, I don't know that they have people clawing their way across the border into, like, Canada. I guess Canada has their own immigration, but...
Yeah, U.S. citizens fleeing the Republican Party.
Yeah, okay. You cannot run. You cannot hide. You cannot arm yourself as a citizen.
Yeah, so Tech, that's why
Thanks,
I love
Trudeau.
that's why I love science, right? Because speed equals energy, and energy
Control
equals,
two objectives.
you know,
Fast hands online.
Violence.
violence. Yeah.
Enemy securing Bravo.
I mean,
yeah.
to be fair, I hear the migrant crisis is fairly severe in other countries.
Objective
And it's
Bravo.
not surprising. They're a lot closer to the more militaristic areas.
So, and this is why the migrant thing is
Hostile
weird
UAV
to
in
compare
the
us
area.
to, right?
We
Because
control Bravo.
in like every other country, they really don't settle for people bringing in their culture. I mean, like, well, now you're gonna adhere to my culture. Like, you
And
do
that would have been a time to break out the Scottish accent. Briefly.
maybe later. But
Right. There's a
Yes.
reason Gaelic isn't widely spoken anymore. And that reason is English.
yeah, so I mean, like, if you go into Germany, being like, well, I'm gonna bring my whatever XYZ, they're gonna be like, get bent, you're German now, so be German.
America was built on something else, though.
Securing objective
Right.
Charlie.
There is no, well, okay, there is American culture, but we sort of made a mess of that in 1757 or whatever.
Well, then I think
Like-
American culture is the culture of not having culture, right? It's our
Oh, no, no, no,
culture's-
no. Rewind a little bit. You'll find some American culture underneath all the blankets
Yeah. Okay.
covered
yeah.
in smallpox.
Enemy
Yeah, mass
taking
genocide of the Americas is probably a topic for another day, because we could probably get on that too, right?
The enemy
We'll cover that
is
eventually.
Part of the state of America, though.
Enemies taking Bravo. Securing objective Alpha. Friendly cruise missile deployed.
I'll always think back to the King of the Hill bit where the one guy's talking to John Redcorn. He's like, "Do you guys even have a Thanksgiving?" And he says, "We did. Once."
Mission is half complete.
Yeah.
Secure this victory. We're losing Bravo.
Our UAV is orbiting the
Poignant
area.
lines from an animated adult series.
Enemies taking Charlie.
Hey, you pay attention to the political climate. Pick a politician, and they are running for president. Who would you choose? Who would you most like to vote for from the current political climate?
So I'll be honest with you.
Enemies deployed a counter
Um,
UAV. Enemy UAV
man.
active.
The problem is there aren't too many that I'm really interested in. I could see DeSantis being okay if he
Ron?
toned down.
President Ron.
Yeah. I don't know about
It
having
doesn't
a
have
Ron.
a good ring to it.
Yeah, but see, I could see him being at least a
Enemy UAV overhead.
contender as long as he toned down the MAGA crap, because the whole MAGA thing It can get bad.
He needs to distance himself. Everyone does.
Yes, and they are. They are, because he's anathema. They haven't won an election in 3 election cycles because of him. He's not a winning formula. He was.
He was
He was a flash in the pan.
a gimmick.
Yes.
I don't know. He could pull. Who was that? Andrew Garfield?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, Tech.
Grover Cleveland. Come back later.
We already had a Ronald Reagan.
Yes, well, he went by Ronald. DeSantis goes by Ron.
He goes by McDonald.
Our counter UAV is active.
But yeah, you're right. You're right. But no, the Democrats don't actually have anybody that I really care for right now.
Enemy UAV
Alright, so you pick Ron. Who's his running mate?
I don't know. That's the problem, is I don't actually like anybody in the political scene. You know who I'd rather see run? Okay, if I had my choice, it would be Adam Kinzinger.
Kinzinger? I'm not familiar with him.
Yeah, I like him. I liked him before he was on the January 6th panel for the Republicans. Because every time I've heard him speak, it's always from a ground of common sense. Every time.
That's fairly unusual.
You like how I approach topics? That's how he approaches them. And he's also a U.S. veteran too, so like I kind of have that. Like that's always a feather in the cap.
You can't shit on veterans.
Well, you can. You absolutely can, because they don't know anything. But
the bonus marchers of man, I don't even remember what year that was, but that was bad. I want to say no, it wasn't Roosevelt presidency.
And also, there is also a point too that Tech made that no president's gonna go by their first name. It's not gonna be Ron the president. It'll be Mr. President.
What is Obama's last name?
Or President DeSantis.
Keep them secure.
Still though.
Bravo is compromised. We're losing Alpha.
I guess President Donald sort of jumped the shark there, didn't it?
Yeah.
We've lost Alpha.
Our UAV is orbiting the area.
Securing objective Bravo.
Well, what about you though? What do you think?
I don't like any of the current politicians. I think we should flush that toilet and start over.
Well, that's how I feel. So actually, that kind of gets to the crux. My whole point. So the whole point of this episode that we're doing here is actually the second founding that I wanted to talk about. I guess we could just kind of get into that. Yeah, so I personally believe that the U.S. is in a tough spot, and the only thing to really fix it is to refound the U.S. And I'm not saying we delete the Constitution or anything. We just specify a few things.
Look around.
With today's current climate and the voices that are the loudest not being the majority, I don't think we can.
You're right, we
I
can't.
think we'd lose more than we'd gain.
You're right. We can't. That's the problem, is that there is so much discourse and nobody can talk. We can't really get anywhere. We wouldn't be able to do it. Because Brad, I talked about this to Brad too. He said the same thing. He was like, basically like,
well,
who would do that?
Budro.
Yeah. So, who would do that? Who would do that in good faith, right?
Why are you so bad at the video game, Brian?
Because I'm sniping right now, and I'm not, like, drunk, so that's kind of a problem.
You could be.
I could be. You're right.
Every time I finish higher on the leaderboard than you, you have to do a shot.
Oh, God. I'll never get drunk then.
Oh, yeah, okay. I've got some, like, 99 bananas you can choke down.
That wouldn't be the first time I choked on a banana.
Yes, we're all aware of the video. We've all seen it.
But, no, I honestly, like, so...
Oh, nice. We got a guy fact-checking us. Yeah, the bonus army. That was a mess. You know about that, right, Brian?
No, actually.
Really? So, I'm probably gonna get a lot of this wrong, but all the World War I veterans were promised money, I believe a bonus or some sort of recompense for being in the war, and they didn't get it. And in, let's see here, we've got an actual date here, 1932, they marched to the Capitol for a large occupied protest, and they sent out the National Guard to put them down. A lot of people were killed.
Oh. Holy shit.
And all the people killed were, World War I veterans.
Okay, can I just say this? I absolutely love how checkered the U.S. history is. But see, like, when you go through
some horrific things.
Yeah, but so when you go through school, right? It's always like, Star-Spangled Banners and Yankee Doodle fuckery, right? You're like, yeah, go America, fuck yeah, we were great to the Indians. And it's like, no, we massacred an entire people for some land.
Well, to be fair, it was a lot of land.
And we really wanted it.
Yeah. He who has the power has the right.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, no, let's not do that.
Yeah, it's treading on some really fine territory there.
Got them back.
So, but the one reason why I love America so much, and the one reason why I keep coming back to America is not only because I live here, but because we're a nation of law.
You left?
Right? Once.
They let you back in?
Well, it was once. It was many, many years ago.
Immigration is really falling on their face here.
Yeah, they should not have let me back in, being a German national and all, right?
Yes.
But, so we're a nation of laws based on the Bill of Rights, right?
Yeah.
So, I really think that just needs to get rewritten. Keep it all there. Just keep it all there, and just update the terminology and add a few bits to it.
Oh, what direction are we talking here?
So, first of all,
if
civil
it gives
rights.
women rights, I'm not for it.
Yeah, right.
You watch your mouth.
Yeah, because women aren't allowed to have rights. Right? No, that's the part that we should take out, right? We should take out. What's it? The 14th Amendment?
Is that the one that let women vote, or is that some dumb shit because you're picking the wrong number?
I thought it was. It's either 14th or 16th. I'm gonna need help with that. I can't remember all that.
I plead the. Wow, what was it? The Third Amendment. No unlawful quartering of soldiers in my home.
Yeah, nice.
I have a few hills that I will die on.
That's the one that I want. No military should be quartering in my home without my express permission.
If you've noticed, America has never had a problem with soldiers quartering in people's homes.
I was right. It was the 14th Amendment. So yeah, that one gone. Strike it completely out. Completely delete it.
You prove you've earned them, and maybe we'll give them back.
No, I'm obviously kidding. That's definitely
we obviously don't want to take rights away from women. Obviously, they should have every rights that everyone else has.
No, and actually, honestly, so one of my things is reproductive rights should be baked into that somewhere too.
Yeah,
we need to have that honest conversation about how it's not really a man's decision, and the women should get together and decide what they want to do about it, and write that shit into the Constitution.
On the other hand, yes, obviously, but if a guy doesn't want a kid, a woman gets pregnant, and she wants to keep the kid, and he wants nothing to do with it, should he be forced to pay child support?
Yeah, because it's still like what Brad was talking about.
If it's completely her choice, then why should he be held responsible?
It wasn't her. It was both of their choice to have unprotected sex. So that's the thing. So that's the thing, though. It's. Oh, okay, never mind. It wasn't the 14th, it was the 19th Amendment. Okay. See, you can't trust people on the internet. So,
I'm gonna make the internet mad.
So that's kind of the thing, though, that we were talking about, is that, your decisions have consequences no matter what. So, like, if you're in that situation, it's kind of like tough titties. But also, too, you can always apply that kind of logic to reproduction rights too. Be like, well, what's to stop us from banning it outright? Right? Because the whole argument is, oh well, you did the crime, so now you have the punishment, which is having a kid, which I don't agree with. I'm just saying that my logic can be applied to that.
Friendly VTOL on station. Friendly UAV on.
But anyway, so my thing is that's the part that we'd have trouble with, is actually writing stuff like that into into a current constitution.
Yeah,
which is why
there's a reason most of the important stuff in the Constitution is in the amendments.
Yeah.
Enemy is taking Bravo.
So guns. On that note,
Everyone gets some.
yeah, just as soon as you become a
You finish your citizenship, you get a pistol or something. Congratulations, welcome to the country. Take
Yeah.
this course, proving you know how to use guns in order to be a citizen.
All right. So you're hitting on a lot of things then. You're actually hitting on a lot of things. So should guns be limited?
What do you mean limited? No, everyone gets one.
Yeah, no.
Well,
What I'm saying
okay.
is,
Not everyone gets a gun.
Yeah. So here we go. So here's my thing. Do you
Tricks online.
limit assault weapons? Do you limit handguns?
Securing objective Charlie.
Explosives?
I don't believe you should limit the type of gun as much as the people who possess them. For example, like,
Enemy UAV active.
I believe the terminology on the form you fill out is mental defective. I believe that's exactly what it says. Yeah, they should not have guns. If you have a severe mental condition, you should not have a firearm.
What about automatics?
Sure. If you, I believe they should have an additional training course. Not as stringent as it is now, but similar to concealed carry. Prove you're not retarded.
Yeah. So you should be able to have an automatic weapon, right?
Yeah, I don't believe it should have, you know, like a massive fee and special license.
So
But perhaps a training course and a $500 fee.
So are you okay with mandatory training to own a gun?
To own any gun?
Yeah.
You know,
like what we did, like an 8-hour course.
Objective secured.
I would say no, but honestly, the state of people, yeah. You can't make it inaccessible, though. You can't make it cost prohibitive. You can't make it difficult to sign up for. It needs to be accessible.
Do you think that could just be the, like, kind of the way that we handle this kind of stuff? Is like that's when you go get like a mental assessment too?
Well, see, that's the thing. Does everyone just get a mental assessment by a doctor who may be biased?
Well, that's the question, right? So, is that something that we should be doing,
Enemy is securing
or should it be as unfettered as it is? Because I personally don't believe guns should be limited. Really, basically, the only thing you shouldn't have are like nukes. Like,
Yeah, but do you believe anyone anywhere should have one?
no, I don't. And
Keep it up.
a lot of that is based around, you know, people with mental disorders. I really don't think with a mental disorder that you should be able to get a gun.
And it should be something that can be taken away. Like, you get too many DUIs, your right to drive is taken away. You commit a gun crime, your right to own a gun is taken away.
Yeah, because that is a thing, right? So then,
Yes.
but then basically you're
Possession by
basically
person prohibited.
you're basically touting a gun license then.
But the way it's intended is difficult, inaccessible. It needs to be, honestly, it needs to be a free course. It should
Yeah.
not cost any money.
Yeah, taxpayer. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're
So-
gonna make it more difficult, you can't make it inaccessible to any people group.
So here's my stance on everything, and it's all entailed together. And I think this would do a lot to fix a lot of what's going on.
Give me all the guns, specifically.
I think you aren't a legal adult until you're 21, and with that,
They're raising the ages for everything else. They may as well raise the age to be drafted.
this is it. You just said what I was going to say. So you shouldn't be able to buy cigarettes, buy beer, a gun, and honestly, like driving is, you should be able to up to a learner's permit until you're like 21. And,
Hey, jeez.
you shouldn't be able to join the military until you're 21. And actually, what should happen is once you're 18, two things should happen. You should immediately go to a community college for 2 years, which will take you to about 20, right? And it's there you can choose either to join the military, like when you're 20, or continue your schooling. Those 2 years of college will be free, and once you complete that, it's like you become a citizen. It's kind of Starship Troopers-esque, where like you have to like serve to get your citizenship, and I don't want to like lock.
Well, we
off
all saw how
citizen-
well that went.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I'm not talking about like a federation like that. Like it's like that's like a proletariat. Like I think I can't remember what they're call that.
That was Roman, wasn't it?
Well, it's a form of government, but yeah, like you have to be a part of the government or something to get your citizenship. I don't think that should be the case. Like you should, if you're born here, you should be entitled to it.
Oh, I'm entitled.
I'm just saying that like there should just be
Got another.
you know some criteria that you have to pass first. That's all.
So long ago, I was that 16-year-old that would have said, "You're full of shit. Quit trying to deny me stuff."
Yeah, I know, and I do recognize that. But the problem is the military preys on the young like that, and
Yeah, I would kill for college tuition. Oh, really?
yeah, and then on top of it too, like we already know when you're 18, you're still not even adult. Like you have no real life experience. So I think like a lot of those rights that are taken for granted shouldn't be granted until you're 21.
You denying people rights?
No, not really. Just the vices
they
that rule.
should
Just the vices
lower
that
all the
rule
ages
people's
to 18.
lives. But
18,
voting,
you can drink, you can smoke, you can snort crack off a hooker's ass.
yeah. But voting should still be 18. I don't actually agree with lowering the voting age to 16.
But the fact that the age to join the military and the age to do everything else isn't the same is irritating.
Yeah,
I haven't put in a button to decide if it should go up or down yet, but it needs to move.
Enemy UAV active.
yeah, that's kind of my point. To me, that's not acceptable.
Old people always think, you kids are stupid. And the kids are like, no, you're stupid, old man.
Threats in the perimeter.
Yeah. Well, the youth is...
To reiterate, you're stuput, old man.
I was gonna say, yeah, the youth is never gonna agree with the elderly, right? But I'm just saying, so I just think that there's gotta be some guardrails.
Stand by.
And that's kind of the point, though, of the government is to put guardrails up to keep people from doing stupid shit.
X-ray down.
Libertarian. Let people do all the stupid shit they want and just don't subsidize healthcare.
I know, as much as
If it's a self-inflicted wound, you're on your own.
as much as I love the don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you mentality of the libertarian, like it's never gonna work. For a country this size, it can't work.
No, but
Because-
it would be fun to try. Just let the idiots thin themselves out.
It'd be fucking chaos. Because the whole thing is like, okay, can you imagine the company we work for having to take ownership of the roads leading up to the business?
I mean, hey, you want traffic? Do you want
that's how-
people to show up?
Because that's how you get traffic, is you leave it to the businesses to
We've lost the
maintain the
lead.
roads.
Okay, now that's a little bit too capitalism-y.
But that's what libertarians want.
Confirming next hard point.
The aggressive ones, sure.
UAV on station.
There are only aggressive libertarians, bud.
No, they're not all aggressive.
Yeah, for the most part, they are.
Target area
I think the government does too much.
Well, the government doesn't have its fingers into too much pie. That
You
is
can't
true.
regulate stupidity, and they're trying to.
Yeah, okay, that is a excellent point, is that they are trying.
If you take away an idiot's right to be retarded, you are infringing on one of the basic freedoms of America.
Yeah, it's like a basic...
Is your right to be a moron.
Yeah, it's the basic fundamental human right, your right to be a jackass.
hardpoint compromised. Secure the area.
I mean, that is true.
Tossing a decoy.
Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy targets at the hardpoint. Located.
Like, I mean, what's to stop us from ending up like England with their hate speech laws? If you say something that they don't like, you go to jail for saying it.
Counter UAV deployed.
Yeah, and I don't want that either. And the other
Bad.
thing, and you know,
Honestly, I consider that a human rights violation.
You
and you know, another
Enemy
thing too that they do
UAV.
Is be British.
is be British, but they also don't allow cameras into the House of Commons while it's in session.
That's a little antiquated. If
Yeah.
they're deciding what's going to happen in the country, the people who live in the country have every right to see the process.
Especially if it's going to be a free and fair country, right? And
Yes.
yeah, so that's another thing that I want rewritten is the First Amendment, because that's
The
one thing.
First Amendment.
Fight back.
Yes.
The one that was, you know, let's do this one now.
Hardpoint relocating. Stand by.
So
Arguably the most important amendment.
it is. That's why they made it the first.
Yes.
But here's the thing.
And you want to fuck with it.
Yeah, exactly. And here's why.
Move to the hardpoint.
What is the First Amendment?
Freedom of speech, I believe.
Enemy precision airstrike. Find
No.
cover.
It has to deal with that, but it's freedom.
Can't quote it from memory, alright?
Yeah, it's the freedom from the government to prohibit speech. So it's the government shall not
UAV
prohibit or limit or enact laws that prohibit or limit speech. And specifically, that deals with the government's involvement. It has
Now,
nothing to
getting
do with
blocked
actually.
on Twitter is not a violation of the First Amendment. They're a private company.
That's what I'm saying. Is that's why we need to rewrite it. Is because your speech should be protected. Now, not from maybe not
it
from
is.
private companies, but no, it's really not because there's consequences to your speech. Like, especially now that they want to write hate laws, right? Like, it's society's job to police
Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area.
to police idiots.
Yeah, like if someone stands in the town square and says something you don't like, you are completely free to walk away and not listen to them.
Right. What you're not
You're not
allowed
allowed
to
to
do.
beat them with a stick.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not allowed to have them arrested either, you know?
Yeah.
It's not the police's job to go up there and be like, "Hey buddy, you need to leave." You know? That's not what they're there for.
Enemy UAV overhead.
That's all I'm saying is like I just think that there needs to be more
Marked. Send it.
Locating the next hardpoint.
It's a
protection.
slippery slope from there to the Future Crimes Division.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Minority Report style.
In the area.
You might do something bad, so you go to jail.
Stealth bomber is ready for deployment. Hostile UAV in the area.
And behold, we live in a cyberpunk dystopia.
Vulture 6-1 solid copy. Inbound for bombing run.
I'm not sure that the way the country's headed is sustainable long term. Something's gonna give.
Well, something is giving. It is
Hostile counter UAV.
it's cracking under the pressure right now. And a lot of it has to do with the Russians and North Koreans and shit infiltrating our social media and basically influencing what we think. And
Yeah,
see.
I can't blame them. It's just so easy.
Yeah, and so like Tex, I don't know if you can read chat or not, but he's basically saying that like, yeah, it's not really the government's job, like, is to tell you, to protect you from
Target area.
Being offended.
Yeah,
That's a basic American right, is to offend people.
Enemy targets at the hardpoint.
Yeah.
It's part of our foreign policy. And
Okay.
so what? One of the bushes get a shoe thrown at him. These things happen.
Secure the area.
You know, in some cultures, I think that was a declaration of war.
probably. Yeah, like, so I'm just saying, like, you know, no. Listen,
Enemy
nobody
targets at the
wants
hardpoint.
to have their feelings hurt, but sometimes you need to have your feelings hurt.
Because you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah, but see, in this context, Tech, they is a group of people that yelled the loudest. It's not like I don't ever really think it's like a government cabal that's like sitting
Could
at
very
a desk
well be.
somewhere. I don't think so. I think,
Are they doing the finger tent and maniacally laughing?
yeah, it's
Yes, if you say faggot on Twitter, you die.
it's basically your representative stays on social media too much, and they see that you know you have.
Shouldn't
a
they
group
be
of
out
people
there
that's
representing me?
screaming. Yeah, well, that's how they think they're getting the representation. Is like they get screamed at by a bunch of people, and like, oh well, I guess I have to start enacting laws because this is what people want. No, that's
I'm not
necessarily
on
true.
social media, and I am still a productive member of society in spite of that.
Are you?
Which I like to think so. Still, though.
So, I mean, kind of rounding that back, though, the whole problem, the reason why we're so in such a bad spot is because there's so much vehemence between ideologies, right? The
Yeah, you can't
ideologies-
just be like, oh, our opinion is different, but you're still a good person.
I
No,
think it's good. I like
our
this to do.
opinion is different. You should go eat shit and die.
Yeah, that is the problem.
And that's no way to run anything.
No, and that's only been exacerbated the last, I would say, 8 years, because so,
Holy shit. We got John McClane and Hans Gruber on our team.
oh my god, we're gonna win.
Why is it this high rise?
That'd have been awesome.
Why don't we have that map?
So, the thing is like, Obama, when he first was elected, people had a lot of hope because we could see the downward trend, right? Like, people were starting to hate each other. But everybody was like, oh, Obama will fix that. He's definitely going to be unified.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, because they kept trying to
No,
attribute his blackness
We
to
couldn't.
unification. And, like, that was never going to happen.
Your skin color doesn't make you any more or less of a person.
Yeah. So, you know, towards the second half of Obama's presidency is when stuff started going off the rails, and basically Trump did nothing to help that. And
No.
he just poured gasoline on the fire.
Did he ever take a debate class?
I'm sure he would tell you that he did.
The best debate class. I debated the class, and they all quit because I was so good at
Oh
debating.
yeah, it was the very best debate class Wharton had to offer. They made the class just for me. The best class. The best
was the
people,
only
some
one
would
in it.
say. Yeah.
Ooh, I blew myself up there.
I should have rocketed those guys. There's like 3 of them just
If
touch
you
each
blow up
other.
the cars now, it'll be easier to get around at endgame.
Yeah. But no, I don't think he took a debate class. I don't even think he actually went to Wharton. I think he just bought his degree.
It's entirely possible.
Care package incoming.
But something's gotta give.
Yeah.
We're gonna it's gonna, all those crazy preppers might be onto something, because it can't keep going this way. We literally had an insurrection, and everyone's just like, yep. We're gonna continue on as though that didn't happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people very unhappy with the way things are going, and they made it known.
They have a Wheelson.
Hands activated.
At January 6th?
No. But
Changing max.
yeah. You're right. Something does have to give.
I don't think it'll be pretty when it does. And I don't know if we're gonna come out of it better or worse.
Every time America has like an internal crisis, it comes out for the better. And I think this
I don't
won't be any
know.
different.
All those internal crises have added up to end us with us here.
UAV online.
'Cause I know I might be a bit of an idealist, but I honestly think that at our core, Americans are decent. And I think that they're capable of,
Figuring it out.
yes.
Enemy
but-
UAV
I admire your
active.
confidence, although I may not share it.
But I tell you what, man, we're not gonna have like a civil war that like
No?
people keep thinking, because as soon look at the people that are like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a civil war. These are people that have never seen conflict. Some have, but like the people that want it, as soon as shit starts getting shot, like, and they can't go home and watch Tucker Carlson, that's gonna be it for them.
Nobody who's seen a war wants one.
That's just it, exactly. Nobody wants to shoot your neighbor. Like,
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far.
Okay,
have you had annoying neighbors?
Yeah, I have. I mean, okay. Let me rephrase that. You want to shoot some of your neighbors, but like, do you really want to go all-out war with, like, you know,
the Jamesons down the street?
Yeah.
I think I could take them. They might have gotten to better schools, but that won't help them here.
Yeah.
So what if your kid got into the fancy private school?
Does that help him? Does that help him against my 30-06?
Is he now bullet resistant with his degree from Harvard?
Will that big brain stop an AP round?
Oof.
Yeah, yikes. This got dark.
But I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like if there was a war, I think the rednecks would probably come out ahead.
Yeah.
They have many of the skills needed.
Yeah. You would see an Appalachian insurgency, because the thing is
you already don't go to certain towns in the Appalachians.
Yeah.
They might not even notice.
They've already been preparing for war.
They've been having their own internal wars with other families for years.
Yeah, mostly over meth.
Meth and who gets to fuck their cousin.
Yeah. I would like for there not to be a civil war.
Yeah, I imagine that wouldn't go well. I see all these war-torn countries where they manage to have like a degree of normalcy, and I don't know that we could manage that here. A lot of things are dependent on a system functioning properly.
Yes.
People would starve as soon as those tractor trailers stop driving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, the trains that are threatening strike, if that happens, this country will just fall the fuck apart, like, overnight.
Give the railroad workers what they want.
Yes, exactly.
They work hard, they deserve it, and if you don't, people will die.
Yeah, Tech, you don't know how true that is. So, like, the part of PA that I came into, like, the joke is that, like, there's a town of 500 people, and you can't make a full smile out of the lot.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty standard.
He says, yeah, they've been at war with dentistry for, you know, centuries. But, now, if anything, though, I think what you'll see, I think we saw, like, the Seattle riots and stuff like that.
Those were pretty bad.
Like, yeah, but that's what I'm saying, like the Baltimore stuff. We saw all that. I think that's as far as you're going to see. And then we saw January 6th. I think that was the two factions getting their steam out, and I think the next president...
You need to have a little riot to calm down.
Yeah, honestly, I think the next president will be the one to fix it, whoever it is.
Whichever way it ends up going.
Yes. Yes. Because Joe just brought normalcy back to the government. As,
where whatever the president does is mostly forgettable.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. Like, as divisive as it is to say that he brought normalcy back, he did. This is, like, do you really know what Joe does on a day-to-day basis?
No fucking clue, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
I know he eats as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't fault him for that.
You don't know because he's not in the news. Like, he can't. He's not showing up all over the place, so it's fine. And that's kind of how I want it to be. I don't really want to know what the president's doing.
Hey, look, if they're doing everything right, I won't even know if they're doing anything at all.
I thought having a president on Twitter would be, like, neat, because it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna keep us up to date. and it just was just
It's
like...
sort of like having a war on Reddit. Turns your stomach occasionally.
Kilo in the area.
Yeah. It was just like with him, it was just like vile. It was like the longest Reddit post I've ever had the fortune of reading.
I'm sure you read a lot of copy pastas.
So,
Cruise missile incoming. The enemy's advancing.
let's see.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, I got real serious up in here in the Call of Duty.
I just popped out to take care of that helicopter and it was already shot down.
Yeah.
1 minute left.
Getting
Changed
spanked.
classes and everything.
So how about them gas prices?
I try not to look. Swipe card, fill up tank, cry a little.
Yeah.
Not good though.
Yeah.
And you know whose fault that is?
Tag secure.
Suboptimal.
Confirmed.
Heck.
OPEC's
30
fault?
seconds
Yeah.
remain.
Specifically, you know, Exxon or whoever.
Yeah.
But I mean,
They-
that's the rub of capitalism, isn't it? If you see a way to profit and can get away with it, you do.
Yeah. They're literally like, oh well, we can make our fuel prices whatever we want because you're not getting 12% of it from Russia, and Saudi doesn't want to give you more, so good luck. Which is, I think, messed up. So, you know, not a lot of people know this, but you know the U.S. is like the #1 oil producer on the planet?
Yeah, we stockpile a lot of it, don't we?
Yeah, so it's like 500 million barrels we can stockpile.
Keystone Pipeline, yes or no?
Yeah, I don't see why not. The pipeline.
Desecration of the natives' lands.
Yeah, that's
It's
the.
nothing new, let's be honest.
And not only is it nothing new, let's face it, we wrote those agreements when we were like, yeah, we're never going to use this land. Honestly, we should never have been given away vast swaths of the land that we genocided for, to be honest.
I genocided your ancestors for this land, fair and square.
Yeah.
Do you believe the natives deserve land for free?
Yeah, honestly, I do.
They never had to buy land before, they just lived on it. They were here first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's why what I said sounds horrible. But the thing is like we're doing this back and forth thing. It's like, well, here's the land, but actually we're gonna take some of that away because we need to build a pipeline. And they're like, no, fuck you. That's our land. You're not gonna do that. And the government's like, yeah, we're gonna do that because we're the U.S. government and we don't actually care what you think. Be thankful we didn't genocide you too. You know what I mean? Like it should just be the one thing. Like, we should just never done it in the first place, and then this wouldn't even be a conversation because now we just look like even bigger dickhead. Bigger.
I mean,
dickheads.
we are massive dicks. Let's not gloss over that.
Yeah.
But I mean, name a country that didn't genocide natives.
That's a very white people thing.
I don't know. The Arabs seem to genocide each other.
Yeah, but that's each other. Like, no, I guess it's everywhere. Yeah, okay, everybody does it.
Do you believe Arabs are subhuman?
No, I don't. I believe that their culture needs a huge reckoning.
Yeah, not this time.
You believe Muslim is the worst religion then?
No religion is the worst religion. It's people's shitty shit takes of that religion
Secure the area.
that makes it shit.
I don't know. That particular shit take seems to be universally accepted by all the people of that religion.
No, because because non-extremist Muslims don't believe that you should behead your wife for not wearing a burqa.
Enemies inside the perimeter.
You know what I mean?
I guess that doesn't make the news, though, does it?
No, it doesn't, and it's also the most common and it's the most popular religion on the planet. So like,
it stands to reason there'd be some dickheads there
right, and all religion is used as a tool of control, and
to make money.
yeah, and dickheads also pervert it for power and control. So
Capture the hard point. Our UAV is orbiting the area.
well, so okay, actually on that tech, we did build a McDonald's in Afghanistan, and look where it is now. Not there.
Hard point.
Where'd it go?
Secure the area.
Well, the Taliban took over and shut everything down.
Is the building still there though?
Probably.
That's where the heart is.
Yeah.
As long as this golden arch still stands, I will defend it to my dying breath.
Friendly counter UAV online.
But yeah, no, I mean,
Enemies inside the perimeter.
I think ultimately everybody has a right to life, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness. Unless you're a Nazi, then you don't. Then you're not allowed.
Confirming next
That.
hard point.
Oh, and he was talking about the pipeline thing. About
Yeah.
how like he was saying that we should be allowed to put down the pipelines because it's only like 100-foot wide, and it's not like a McDonald's is going up out in the middle of nowhere.
Area updated.
I mean, the obesity crisis is real out there. We really shouldn't build a McDonald's out there.
Which is true, but the thing.
A lot of the government food is very high in starches, and it's not doing any good favors for the peoples.
Yeah, so the problem that we have with oh, too many guys. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. Oh, so the Keystone Pipeline though, they're lauding that like it's like the answer to all our fuel problems, and all it does is just move fuel from one place to another in a more convenient fashion. It's
Isn't
not like,
that part of the problem, though?
no, because the problem with America is that we don't refine it. That's the problem.
I've driven past multiple refineries.
Yeah, we don't refine enough of it to support us. That's why we buy it.
I can't remember if it's Colorado or Wyoming, but there's this town called Sinclair. You can probably guess why. A literal town built around the old Sinclair oil refinery, which still operates, I think.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we don't refine. We're saying that we don't refine enough of it. And then they also sell it off to whatever they do refine. They sell a good chunk of it off to other countries for insane profit.
It's funny. I mean, okay, you can sell it for an insane price. Capitalism says you do. There is no altruism. You don't keep it in America because you want to. You sell it to whoever pays the most.
Yeah, the American dream isn't to sell it to Americans for the lulz. It's to make as much money as humanly possible, no matter how you do it.
Hardpoint relocated.
Generally, it's off the backs and brows
Off the back of the working men.
Yeah.
A CEO doesn't produce anything for the... You know, that's the old, what was that, civics class. You've got the worker, what the worker produces, the labor, all that bullshit goes together to make, like, functioning society. What does the CEO produce for their labor?
Yeah.
A factory worker produces a part, a widget. It was always a widget, never specified. The day laborer produces a hole in the ground to put a building in. You know, the CEO produces what?
Stock prices.
Yeah, but
So-
see, that's not quite so tangible.
So this is where I have to always push back on that. So the leader of your company, they are the ones that make the company valuable and bring money in to keep the company going. So they are necessary. Now, are they multi-million-dollar necessary? Probably not. No.
They're
Should
evil most of the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You would be too if you made.
Hey, if I could get away with it,
Yeah.
damn straight.
Absolutely, everybody would be.
I'm not going to claim to be a better person.
Once you see that kind of money coming in, you're like, well, that's fuck you money. So naturally, we'll say fuck you. Ooh, that's got intense.
The game?
Yeah.
Locating the next hard point. Get
So,
ready. Friendly UAV on
Yeah, I thought you had ADHD. This shouldn't be a problem.
I did kill like 5 of them here. No, 4 of them because I didn't have my pack.
Enemy personnel at the hard point. Hard point relocated. Secure the target area.
Sorted that one.
You know, you said something earlier though about immigration. So, like, what do you think about immigration into America?
Obviously, everyone wants to do it. It is the greatest country on earth. I don't fault them for wanting to be here. But you can't just waltz across the border and expect to receive our welfare programs and government subsidies paid for by our taxes.
So, how do we fix it?
You gotta become a citizen. It's not broken in the first place. In fact, it's not enforced properly. You want to receive the benefits of our society, you need to participate in it. You can't just sneak under, not pay any taxes, and then or show up and get welfare and not do a damn thing.
Target area updated. Get to the hard point.
Changing back.
So, what do we do with like the hundreds of thousands of people that come to the border, you know, like every, you know, year, and claim the asylum laws, right? Because that's how
Asylum from what exactly?
persecution in their country, and like you know, like, all right, tech, and like, you know, gangs and stuff like that, cartels, but like,
So what, they're saying their country's bad, so they want to live in ours, pretty much?
yeah,
Well, geez, what is it they say in America? If you don't like it, leave. But then the counterpoint to that is, I don't like it, I'll change it.
Report enemy incoming.
In the area. Hostile UAV in the area.
If your country's such a mess, why don't you do something about it?
Stun incoming!
Have you no pride?
I guess maybe it's harder said than done. It's just easier to
Secure the
leave.
target area.
Yeah, easier. It's always easier.
Yeah. So, because, you know, like, the way immigration works is, you know, we only let a certain amount in every year from a certain country, and they have to be vetted and all that, right?
Yeah.
So, should we make an exception for the South American countries? And, like,
You mean the ones we fucked over?
yeah, and, like, let them come
With
in?
the drugs?
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean, you can't just let in anybody.
Switching back.
I know some people who live in Texas, ranches on the border, and they're tired of, you know, having their family members murdered while they're working the ranch by, you know, drug cartels and shit. It's
Yeah.
not what one would call ideal.
Stand by.
Yeah, that does seem less than optimal.
And you know, anyone close to the border down there, they're always having to, you know, carry guns to defend themselves, because at any moment, some guy with his ass full of cocaine could show up and rape your wife and shoot your dog and murder your children.
Approaching from the rear.
Yeah, and you don't, and, like, you don't know these people, so how do you know that whoever is coming across?
Yeah, how do I know your ass isn't full of cocaine?
Yeah. I mean, that is kind of a good point.
That's a standard border check, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, well, I think I've told you this before, but why not create like a town
Shoot me, you bastard.
in the middle of like Utah with the Mormons, and like they can, I don't know, like they can kind of like vet there, and like you have like a 6-month path to citizenship. You know, you can have a job where you're in taxes.
But like a holding town?
Yeah, sort of.
And we just throw them all in there. So it would be a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah, it'd be Moss Isley.
I believe that's the exact words I was looking for to describe something like that.
Secure the
Who would police it? How would you police it?
area up.
Oh, I mean, so I mean they're making money and they're paying taxes to that city. So the U.S. state, Utah, we like Utah police.
I mean, I guess we could make the Mormons pay for it. They're not the best people.
UAV overhead.
Yeah, they're not. Which, on that note,
We've lost
good
the lead.
segue. What about religion?
Hostile UAV.
What
in the
about
area.
religion?
In
Other than
general,
the fact that mine is right and yours is wrong, what is there to say?
yeah, just in general in the U.S. I
Hardpoint
mean,
compromised. Secure
does it
the
belong
area.
in politics?
I believe it's been in politics the whole time.
It wasn't supposed to be.
No. Everything got sort of skewed there. Seeing as how the dominant religion in the United States was persecuted and fled. So they make rules to prevent religion from being infringed on. And, of course, it sort of favors the religion that everyone is.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen. It can't be avoided. I am in favor of the Satanic Temple.
Yeah.
I believe they do good things.
It's funny
Never
because
thought I'd say that.
it's funny because they actually do good things. They do a lot for their local communities. Like funny stuff too, like bake sales and like children's hospitals and shit like that.
Children's Hospital provided by the Satanic Temple.
Yeah. I always thought that was so weird.
Like, thanks, Satan.
Hardpoint relocating. Stand by.
For this wonderful children's hospital? Wait. Wait a sec.
Friendly VTOL on station.
Satan!
Target area updated.
I may have judged you too harshly, Satan.
This is not at all what I was expecting.
See, the problem with Satan is you only ever get one side of the story. You get God's side of the story, right?
Well, I mean, that's sort of the point, isn't it?
No, because if you're going to make an informed decision, you need both sides of the story.
The point of religion is not to make an informed decision.
Okay. You're right.
Got you there.
Yeah.
Do you believe there is a higher power, or do you believe you're dead, you're dead?
Enemy UAV
When you're
overhead.
dead, it's correct.
God, I think that, but sentience is just so baffling to wrap my head around. It can't just be all there is.
Yeah.
Of course, then I get all like I took a bad mushroom trip, and I'm like, what is life? And we
Ooh.
can't really answer that question in this time
Why are you aiming down that way, bro?
Right in the vagina.
There's already a hole.
Well, now there's an extra one.
Ah, hey, you gotta do another shot, Mr. Last Place Finisher.
I know. I just couldn't get to the places.
You just sprint, and then you're there.
Not when not with a sniper rifle. So, but no, actually, my whole point to asking about the religion, though, is what about, I mean, the religious extremism, and specifically, I'm really targeting the conservative group on this.
I thought you were being quite clear on that point.
Was I?
It was fairly obvious.
Well, that's the whole point.
With his fucking gay pride flag outside.
I don't know what I was saying, but I mean, so we have a group of people in our government right now that are like, hey, no, it's God's will to kill all the gays. We need to do that. Like,
They're attempting to regulate morality, which they should never be doing in the first place.
okay, you said it. That's another thing, right? You can't regulate stupidity and you can't regulate morality. That has to be decided by the society. And when the government tries to do it, they always do it wrong. Why?
Always.
Because we all don't share the same morals. That's why it has no business
Securing Alpha.
being in
Regulated.
government. Yeah.
Alpha
So the
secure.
only regulation that you deserve as a God-fearing human being is that the government makes no rules about your particular brand of Jesus worship.
Taking Bravo.
Or Messiah worship, I should say.
If I want to drink the Kool-Aid, who's to stop me?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So the Kool-Aid. You know about the Kool-Aid, don't
Yeah, the
you?
Jonestown massacre.
Was that I mean, okay, yeah, there were crimes committed there. But is a group suicide illegal if all parties are consenting?
Oh, absolutely. Because that's the thing that laws have a hard time coping with is the influence people exert over other people.
Friendly UAV on station.
If I can talk you into killing yourself, is that a problem? Am I a bad person? Have I broken a law by convincing you to do that?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain, is that laws have a hard time with that. because it's your free will to do that, but you are convinced to do it by somebody else. So there's that intent.
Is that not freedom of speech, though? If I just stand there and talk to you, and you decide to off yourself, how is that my fault?
Well,
okay, my fault maybe, but my problem?
It's your fault because you were like, hey, you need to do this because God wills it. You know, that's why it's your fault.
So if I'm in the voice chat and tell some guy to go kill himself and he does, am I in trouble?
Yes.
Should I be in trouble?
Yeah, just the same way, like, you didn't have to say that, and actions have consequences, right?
Actions, yes, but words?
Yeah, words are actions.
Are they? You see, now we're back in the freedom of speech thing.
Well, and that's why our laws have a hard time governing that. But that's also why the First Amendment is the way that it is, because it doesn't protect you from the consequences of your speech.
Enemies taken out. Fast hands online.
Same thing as, like, you shouldn't be allowed to yell fire in the middle of a movie theater.
Oh yeah, it always comes back to that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder how long it'd take you to come back to that one.
Hostile cruise missile.
Well, it's one of the only arguments that you can make, right? Should you
Honestly,
be allowed
in
to yell
today's
fire?
day and age, if you do yell fire, will anyone give a shit?
No, they'll just let you. They're hoping for a fire so they can burn in it.
Enemy
Yes.
taking Alpha. Enemy securing Bravo.
But that's not really the discussion either. It's like, should you be allowed to yell fire in a building?
Charlie.
Is there a fire? You see, it's a simple flowchart, isn't it?
Yeah. Is there fire?
Is there a fire?
Yes. No.
Yes. Then yell fire.
Took Charlie.
Yeah.
Should you even yell fire, though, if there's a fire? Should you be yelling fire? Is that not still inciting a panic?
We're losing
No,
Bravo.
you have to yell rape.
Hostile SAE
Should you simply
position.
state fire?
Objective Bravo.
To whom it may concern, there is a blaze a-brewing.
Oh man, I pissed that guy off so bad. I walk up on him, stick him in the forehead with a drill charge, and then just watch. He kills me, but it was a bad way for him to end.
Brutal.
Brutal. Should Death Clock be held responsible for that one album where people drowned themselves?
Securing Charlie.
Yeah,
They're
because they
not
said,
liable due to they had the little sticker that said for fish use only.
The enemy has
yes,
captured two objectives.
yes. So
Objective Charlie
that was the
secure.
whole point of that episode. Yeah.
Secure Bravo.
It
There was
wasn't
a
meant
point.
for human
The
ears.
enemy took Alpha.
I wasn't aware there was a point to any episode of Metapocalypse.
Oh, Metalocalypse? Yeah, no. It's like
A social commentary.
yeah, it absolutely
UAV
is.
active.
They hit some heady
Securing
topics.
Charlie.
Metal bands are just like that.
We control Charlie.
Should the government be allowed to give you experimental weed and watch your brain melt?
No. No, the government should not be experimenting on its own people without their express consent.
Tuskegee syphilis experiment.
Online.
Well, also chemtrails. So,
You're mad about silver iodine?
well, I'm mad that they did it.
Hey, they did that around here back in the 70s, and we had a flood.
The enemy holds two objectives.
At least that's what you'll hear out of the old folks around town. Local legend.
Securing objective Alpha.
Yeah, the Tuskegee syphilis experiment touches on a lot of the problems, what with not only experimenting on the populace, but experimenting on the most vulnerable of them.
We hold all
Yeah.
secure.
And also giving people syphilis.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't do that.
Is it not? It's not obvious from the get. Hey, maybe you shouldn't give people syphilis to start with.
We're losing Charlie.
Like, hey, what happens if we give a bunch of brown people syphilis and then don't treat it? Like, ever. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
Objective Charlie is
turns out they go
compromised.
crazy.
Get it back.
And die, and, you know, it's a bad time.
Yeah, so that was kind of my point this entire time, is just how evil our government actually is.
Like all the shit that's been confirmed the CIA actually did. We're like, oh no, yeah, they don't do that anymore. Like,
Yeah.
we never did anything about it or held anyone responsible, but I'm sure they stopped.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're not doing anything now. They got that out of their system. That's the
Yeah,
that's the
just
argument.
give your coworker an insanely large dose of LSD and just see what happens.
Check your bloody fire.
Losing Alpha.
That'd be a great time to work at the CIA, though. You just come into work one day, drink your morning coffee, and all of a sudden you're tripping balls. Like, ah, fuck you, Jim.
Well, you've obviously
You're
never done
banned for
acid.
making the coffee in the morning.
On your
So
six.
it wouldn't be all of a sudden. It'd be like an hour later.
Alright, you can go take a shit and come out of the bathroom not knowing where you are.
Yeah, like wow, everything is so weird right now.
Jim, you joker. Did you put LSD in the coffee again?
Covering your six.
Enemy UAV.
Gets me every time.
Jim, you're such a rascal.
I'm going to go into a acid coma now and perhaps never live.
Our UAV is orbiting the area, securing Alpha.
Using drill charge.
I remember when I robo-tripped, I could select my shoes from the
All
options
objectives
menu.
secure. Hold what you got. Enemies taking charge.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you select them?
I did. I absolutely did.
Enemies taking Alpha.
That was fucking nuts.
Maybe you shouldn't do that. I hear it's
Charlie.
guaranteed to be a bad trip.
No,
Like
that-
every time.
No, it was not.
Objective Alpha compromised. Getting friendly mortar strike on the
It
way.
was fine.
You're not making it sound like a bad idea.
Securing objective Charlie.
I know what we're gonna do today, Ferb.
We control Charlie.
we're gonna chug,
Okay.
Losing
We're
Bravo.
gonna
Should you be allowed to buy a shitload of Robitussin and trip
Oh,
balls on it?
God, no. That is one of those guardrails
The
that should,
government should regulate that one.
Care package in the AO. Care package ready to deploy.
yeah, government needs to regulate robo-tripping.
You're over here like somebody ought to stop me, but no one has yet, so I'm gonna continue.
Care package deployed.
Yeah.
Like how when you buy Tannerite from Cabela's and then you're like, wait, this shit should be illegal.
Yeah.
I'm not the right hands to have this in.
This is actual explosives. They just
It,
They
yeah,
just-
the first I bought like a half a pound and set that shit off, and I'm like, holy shit.
Objective Alpha secure. Taking
I
Bravo.
love how they
There's-
I love how they justify it because they're like, yeah, it's fine because it's not actually explosives. You need a high
A
energy.
blasting to set it off.
Yeah, you need something high energy to set it off. It's like, this is actual explosives, you asshole.
Oh no, I'm glad that it is accessible. Just like considering the other things they've made illegal, this should be on that list.
Strike inbound. We're taking Charlie.
Like the little half-pound thing we had it out by our target.
The enemy has captured
It was like a
objectives.
2x4 pounded in the ground with a 4x8 sheet of plywood on it, and it blew it in half.
In Alpha.
I'm like, it won't break the 2x4, and my buddy's like, dude, it totally will, and I'm like, I don't think so.
The enemy
Spoiler
is in
alert.
Alpha.
I
did.
I really enjoy that period between like 2010 and 2014 when all those kids were putting like obscene amounts of tannerite in refrigerators and standing like 30 feet away from them. And like,
Yeah, my buddy's neighbor did it with a washing machine. It was loud. It was like a 5-gallon bucket full, I think.
God damn.
Yeah, it was fairly energetic. And of course, there's that legendary guy that did it with a lawnmower and blew his leg off.
Active.
Yeah,
Enemy
legend.
UAV active.
You could think he was behind a tree or else he'd be dead.
Literally, that video was kicking around Reddit right now. I literally saw it, you know, front page or so within the last day.
Enemies taking Charlie.
Yeah,
Alpha secure.
it is a classic.
It is.
We're losing Charlie.
Some poor bastard get, you know, spontaneous amputation.
It's surprise
Enemy
amputation.
securing Charlie.
Yeah, I prefer. It's not kidnapping. I prefer surprise adoption.
Securing objective Alpha. RSA incoming. Secure Bravo. The enemy holds all objectives. We're
Wow, that
getting
was
our kick.
complete
We control
overkill.
Alpha.
Me and this other guy were on A.
Bravo secure.
The
Enemies taking Bravo.
the guy hiding mag dumped.
Charlie.
Oh.
Hey,
Hostiles launched
You want to step up or we're going to lose?
Enemy securing Bravo.
Shit. As long as we hold B, we'll be okay.
Well, I'm trying.
I got it.
Ah, there. That was pretty close.
Yeah, it was. It was weirdly close.
Good game. And we've nearly fixed the country. Hey, look, it's you.
Oh, yeah. Damn, dude, you're on fire today.
No, wait, how'd I do? 25! Number 1. Another shot for the Brian.
Wow.
I told you I'm prestige 2 now.
So you're suddenly better.
That's what it means, right?
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, you know what we haven't talked about though?
There's a lot of things.
Taxes.
Taxation is theft.
Taxation is theft. What about the
Why do I
roads?
pay the public school
Oh, she
tax?
decided
I'm not in public school.
It's for the greater good of the next generation and your country.
I'm aware that's why, but still, you know, that's the most common one brought up. That was the one that took me a while to wrap my head around as a kid.
Public schools do suck, Trex.
Hey, that guy's clan tag is butt. What about this reoccurring property tax? You own property, you have to pay us money to continue owning property.
So I hate.
Do you really own the property?
No, so I hate that because they can also take your property for that.
Yeah, it's like, I bought it. It's my dirt.
Yeah.
You didn't pay us $5,000 a year, so now it's our dirt.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that really bugs me is because I pay property tax. And
Obviously.
like
Anyone who owns property does.
yeah, so
Unless you figured out something I'm not don't know about.
yeah, just one day the government can be like, well, you know what? I'm not
And they can take your property anyway with their fancy eminent domain.
Yeah. Yeah, and they don't even have to pay you all that well for it either. It's just another nightmare.
Kill confirmed.
Oh my god. I think we're gonna start an
It's
insurgency.
popping. Are you paying it? You're supposed to monitor chat. You're the host.
I am. I'm
Just checking.
I am monitoring chat.
Meanwhile, I've got to check my laptop on the floor to see what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm honestly impressed this thing booted up. I think it's still on like Windows 7.
It's on Windows 95.
Hey, I bet it would be fast as shit with Windows 95 on it. Drill charges work underwater. Noted.
I was paying attention to chat. The guy surprised
Got
me
you.
and shot me in the balls. Oh, it's a mine!
Did you step on a landmine?
I did. I saw it
Classic.
too. I saw it happen in slow motion. I was like,
You always think you can outrun them.
yeah, and it
Often
delayed.
can't.
Yeah, it delayed, and I was like, oh wow, did I make it?
Enemy
No,
deployed a counter
I didn't
UAV.
make it. And I took somebody else
you
with me.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Team kill. Bruh. Yeah, so what did, I love all these taxes that are, hey, we're only taxing you until we pay for this thing.
And
No,
that's-
once they get a bite, they never let go.
no, that's 100% right. But
There's
that's-
one my dad always rants about. It's the, I forget which tax it is, but he's like, they made that tax to pay for the War of 1812, and I bet you it's paid for by fucking now.
Kill confirmed.
It's
And-
like the state something tax.
And you got to remember the taxes that you're paying now that they implemented in 1947 and 1950 for German reparations.
Man, there didn't used to be income tax, did there?
No.
That was after one of the wars, to pay for the war.
Enemy UAV overhead.
And Americans were, patriotic as we are, we're like, okay, yeah, we'll pay for the war. Those people in that other country deserve freedom as much as we do. And then the war was done, and then the war was paid for, and then they didn't give us back our money.
Ah, man, that guy had blast proofing on.
I got him. Shot him in the face with a pistol.
We try to keep things grounded here, T-Rex. But no, yeah. So the libertarian in me is like, yeah, fuck taxes. But also the sensible part of me is like, we have to be able to pay for the roads somehow, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I've always said that if libertarians could show me how they make money to pay for roads and schools and things like that without taxes, I'm all for it. But that's the problem, is that they never do that.
I don't know, dude. I think our stream might be too based. But legit though, there needs to be some stuff that is public, like part of a functioning society. But there's people making profit off the US government, and that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
No one should make any money. It's a service. Like the postal service loses however much money a year.
Correct.
They're not supposed to make money.
Correct. So that's just it. So the US government is funded like a business, but doesn't make money like a business, right? The only way it makes money is off the backs of all of us that collectively agree. Oh, okay, we're gonna pay our taxes every month. Or every
I just
paycheck.
dodged a landmine. You would be proud. Well, or embarrassed that you couldn't.
Oh! I'm getting danced on. Ah! That was so stupid.
Get good, son.
I didn't die.
You are just shitting up your ass tonight.
Yeah, I didn't die, but I couldn't land a shot either. I panicked.
Got your back.
The talk of taxes got me all hot and bothered.
Yeah, you should be doing better then. Express your rage. We're the Rage Clan, remember?
Yeah.
Why aren't you raging?
Troops in contact. Losing drill trucks.
So, we were talking about private roads earlier. So, private roads aren't necessarily a bad idea, and I'm not against
They're not
them.
a good idea. They exist, and they're terrible.
Yeah.
Some of the turnpikes, I forget which states, I was just reading about this.
Pennsylvania.
They've been privatized, like 100-year leases. And some of them, okay, yeah, there's a toll. This road is very nice, though. Traffic is good, the road surface is nice. And then there's other ones where it's basically the Baja 1000 with craters.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
And you're still paying a toll.
So again, that just kind of rounds off what the government's supposed to be. It's supposed to be guardrails, right? It's supposed to set up like
Literal guardrails.
Yeah, minimum expectations for said item that you're paying for. So you can't.
Like
you
my
can't
dad goes about Route 1. Like the toll was only supposed to be till the road is paid for. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Nothing ever gets paid for. Fun fact.
No, it's just always debt. That's why we're like 26.
They'll find their loopholes. Like, oh, we're still doing construction. There's like one guy with a bucket and a brush doing road lines on one section of the road, just continuously repainting. So the road's not done, but his pay is like $8.75 an hour and 2 gallons of paint per day. But you know, 5,000 cars use the road, and they each pay $5.
Oh, and you don't got to talk to me about like projects never getting done either, because like, you know, being in Pennsylvania, those roads would be shut down for like, you'd have
And
like a
they're
2-lane turnpike.
They're noticeably bad.
Well, yeah, that has a lot to do with the plows, because they don't make the roads right in the first place, and they have to plow every year, and those blades dig the roads up. So unless you're redoing the roads every year, the roads don't last.
Or, you know, plowing it properly. You've seen plastic cutting edges on snowplows, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, they haven't heard of those in PA.
No, there's a lot of things they haven't heard of, like, you know, teeth in college.
Because you know what? They'd have to replace those plastic blades every, you know, other day. So they would just rather.
Still, though.
They would just rather replace. hang on, they would rather replace the road once a century.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they'd rather replace the road, but then they don't replace the road. Case in point, 202 up north. That's horrific. Like when I'd go up north, like go like straight up, Route 1, up around Philly and everything, you can tell when you hit the state line because it gets noticeably shittier.
Yeah.
And
also,
it's not like they're literally in the exact same region. They get the exact same amount of snow in that particular area, and Pennsylvania's is still shittier.
Care package incoming.
And also, T-Rex, also, don't get too hung up on the roads. We're just kind of using that as a small example. Roads generally aren't that expensive when they're bid on. They just become expensive because of bloat and companies making them expensive. So I had the opportunity to work for a construction company, and built bridges. And what would end up happening is you bid $500 million to build this bridge or whatever, but in reality it only costs $250 million. So they have to use that money up somehow.
Anyway, what were we on about? Taxes?
Yeah, taxes.
Fuck taxes.
Yeah. So, but what about people paying their fair share?
1 minute remaining.
Obviously.
Well, are people paying their fair share?
Yeah. Currently?
Yeah.
I believe they're not. The billionaire class is not paying their fair share.
Care package en route.
The largest period of economic growth in American history was after World War II, when I believe the tax rate for very rich people was something like 75%.
Yeah.
It was very high, and we had the largest period of prosperity pretty much ever. And now the billionaires pay what? No taxes through some sort of fucking dodge? And do you feel like we're prospering right now?
No, we're definitely not. We're definitely not prospering.
You can't rely on the rich to redistribute that money. Trickle-down economics doesn't work, because if some guy gets more money, guess what? He's gonna do more dumb shit and spend more money. He's not gonna give it to anybody.
Yeah, so it turns out he keeps it.
Yeah, fun fact.
The mission is complete. Well done.
Yeah, so no taxation without representation. So
Yeah.
technically we should be
I feel bad for DC.
so technically we should be DC should be a state, and then also 16-year-olds should be able to vote as long as they have a job, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gotta be like that. You can't just have some guy paying taxes without his voice being heard.
Yeah, so if you if you limit the voting age to 25, you never have a Democrat that wins office, right?
Pretty much how it works, isn't it?
Yeah. But
Hey, this talking monkey finds that offensive.
yeah. Yeah. But no, so so should the poor pay more in taxes?
I'm not quite sure how they can.
So, all right, the way America works, right, is that the middle
Or
class
attempts to.
Yeah, the middle class pays the bulk of the tax bill, right?
Yeah, and
That's
not right.
They make the bulk of the money, and they make the bulk of the tax bill, and they pay most of the bills, right? So how do you alleviate the middle class?
Tax the rich.
Do you tax them on unrealized capital gains?
Sure, they're rich. Tax them on whatever the hell you want. I'll never be a billionaire, so what happens to billionaires, I don't care about.
Hey, on that side note,
Beat them with a cinder block once a month. It's not my problem.
on a side note, I did just learn that well, I didn't really learn. I've always had my suspicions, but it turns out like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos, they're all just fucking frauds.
Hard point.
Like they didn't earn shit They all took out like massive loans, got massive help from somewhere to start these fucking companies, and just ended up being
Small loan from my father. A very small loan. I still haven't paid him back.
Yeah, a small loan of $1 million.
I still owe his estate a large sum of money.
A small loan of $1 million in 1976 money, which turns out to be, whatever.
If you gave me that much money, I'm sure I could be successful too. And look, as stupid as he may be, I guarantee you he went to business school, so you give him several $1 million, he's gonna make money with it.
Oh, I was catching up on chat and I died.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch chat and, still be the best version of myself, and it's difficult.
The best version of yourself is trans.
Whoa! Alright, let's not do that one today.
No, that's different. That's another day.
I'm not even sure we're allowed to do that one.
Probably not. If this would have gotten demonetized by that, if it was demonetized.
I may have bad opinions, but I know when to not voice them.
Yeah.
RPG, take cover.
So here's a tax the rich though. So what happens? Max tax rate is 33%, right? Like no matter
That's
what,
far too low.
no matter what, you'll never pay more. So they should pay what, 50, 60%?
50? 75?
Let's just say it's
One
50,
man worth, like, what's Jeff Bezos worth? Is it like
300 billion, something like that.
Yeah, that should not happen. Ever.
So the fundamental part about to understand their wealth, you have to fundamentally understand where it comes from. Because when they say how much they're worth, they don't
It's not
have...
a stack of cash.
Yeah, it's not $300 million or $1 billion in cash. It's in, like, assets, right?
Yeah. Still, though, I guarantee you there's nothing he can't just buy.
Target area updated. Move to the hard point.
Up to and including the government of some small South American countries.
No, T-Rex.
Medium to large countries, honestly.
We definitely want to be rich. Like, there's... Absolutely.
I mean, really, you hit a certain number of personal wealth, and it just... All the rest goes to build children's hospitals and schools.
Yeah.
You get a trophy that says, I win.
Yeah. Who pays for the trophy, though? Is that taxpayer money? I don't want to pay for that trophy.
he pays for the trophy himself.
Oh, okay.
It's not a good trophy. Let's be realistic here.
Is it like one of those Walmart ones? You just pull it off the shelf. It's like, I'm special.
No, we get it engraved, but it's more like hand engraved by someone who's not actually good at hand engraving.
Some
Get one of them little electric toothbrush things.
we get some 7-year-old with a Dremel and Dremel it in.
Pretty much.
Do your best,
But see,
kid.
that makes it unique. And that's why it's worth however $100 million you earned to get it. You can't forge this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one man should be worth $300 billion.
Well, so that's also why I asked about the capital gains thing, though, because, like Elon, he didn't use $44 billion of his own money. He took that money out of the bank, and now Twitter is on the hook to pay that money back. So if he even goes under, he's not really going to owe that $44 billion.
The richest people out there never spend their own money.
Correct.
For example, Waste Management. You know who they are, right?
Yeah.
They own all the dumps in our state. They don't spend their own money. I did work for them. They take out loans for every project they do at incredibly favorable interest rates because they're such a large company, and that's how they get shit done. Their money sits in investor accounts earning massive amounts of interest.
Oh shit, I got flashbang.
You bastard.
Yeah, so, and also T-Rex said something too, the elite doesn't want They want you to give your money away. They don't want you to hang on to it, and that is.
They want us to consume.
100% correct. Right. So they want you to get rid of your money because.
Then it becomes their money.
Yeah, because it becomes their money. Exactly. That's 100% right. And also, guess what? You can't play the stock market. You can't Warren Buffett yourself to victory. That doesn't happen.
And when we did, you know, stuff happened.
GME.
GME to the moon, diamond hands.
Yeah, to the moon.
BBY.
Yeah, so a bunch of poor people decided to rape the market, and now the
market fucks them over.
Yeah, and
all those things that are in place to protect people on the market, they don't protect poor people.
No, the SEC is going to redo some rules so that they can't
keep us
anymore.
Plebeians out of it.
Yeah. Because
I was very proud. I watched that happen in real time. I was very proud of that.
So let's talk about the fractional reserve.
As long as you know what it is.
That's how we do money. That's how most countries do money, right? So the federal government issues $1 trillion, and it finds its way into the wild. That $1 trillion goes into people's pockets, and banks are there to hold on to your money, right? So what they do is they
don't hold on to it.
Well, no, they don't. But what they do is they issue loans and stuff off of that money.
Well, Ted, your money's not here.
Yes,
it's in Joe's house, and it's in Bill's house.
Correct.
And it's in your neighbor Fred's house.
Correct. So they're actually giving away money that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Fractional reserve banking is they're giving away money that doesn't exist in the hopes that people will pay them off, and there won't be a run on people requesting their money.
Your average guy in 1927 would know quite a bit more about this than I do. Or whatever year it was. And, you know, oh, God, I can never remember his name. Wonderful Life, Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah,
he knew something about it.
Yeah, so you got it, T-Rex. That is the Webster's Dictionary of banks. Is that banks only have to hang on to a certain amount of liquidity, and it all depends on how much how big their portfolio is, and it's only like 10%. So they might not even need that much money. So it's just enough money they hang on to that if there's ever like a run, they can stop the run, basically.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington was an excellent political film. So I liked when he punched everybody that badmouthed him.
I don't know what you're talking about, but that sounds hilarious.
You've never seen Mr. Smith Goes to Washington?
No, I have not.
You didn't watch it in civics class?
No.
Jimmy Stewart's a small-town politician who runs for representative or something? And then the Washington political system attempts to eat him alive, you know, by shit-talking him. So he just starts running around beating up all the reporters who shit-talked him.
Oh, sweet.
And it's all in black and white, you know. It's Jimmy Stewart. This is 1949 or something.
It was right before he did It's a Wonderful Life.
I think it was a bit after, but right around there, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to watch that. It's hilarious sounding.
We had to watch it in civics class or whatever. Is they pause the movie. Alright, so he's being talked down about by all the reporters and politicians against him. What will he do about it? And I'm like, he's gonna punch everybody. Then he did, and I'm like, well, shit.
That's pretty
Called
awesome.
that one.
We're getting hit hard.
Yeah.
I was 12. Seemed like a good idea to a 12-year-old.
Yeah, I'll put that on the list. That'll be a fun Christmas movie.
I don't believe it has anything to do with Christmas. You can tell them It's a Wonderful Life, and they won't notice the difference.
I know, that's what I was going for.
Whoops, wrong movie. Well, the doors are locked. You can't leave.
Nothing like, nothing like strengthening a relationship and unwarranted political conversations with your significant other.
Oh. I honestly like It's a Wonderful Life. And there's very few Christmas-themed movies that I'll even tolerate.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
man.
We lost miserably.
It wasn't my fault.
I'm gonna blame you.
Good luck, Mr. Below me on the leaderboard.
Sniping, bro. Oh man, I was the last one.
Don't make excuses. Die Hard is an excellent Christmas movie,
It is.
and I watch it every year.
Oof. Damn, that was bad.
GG.
No, that was not good game at all.
You suck.
Really, Tech? Is this the hill you want to die on right now?
And why isn't it a Christmas movie? I'd like to know the exact qualifications that it is lacking.
It's because it doesn't have Jimmy Stewart in it.
I'm sure his, dust that he turned into in 1967 is present somewhere. Okay, yeah, that's a good stream name. The political talk show you never asked for.
Yeah, did you like it?
I approve. I looked at it. I like how we have 3 viewers. That's a new record.
That is a new record. And if T-Rex isn't one of you guys, that's somebody new. That's pretty cool.
Well, yeah. Okay. So, technically we only have 1 viewer.
You gotta give it time. This episode 1, man. Come on.
Yeah, this episode will, shake the spectrum of political talk shows.
You're not
Yeah,
gonna
we
join.
Secure. The lead is ours.
Probably not. But you know.
If anyone watches it, I'm sure they'll be most perturbed.
I'm sure somebody will watch it.
Bravo.
We could be front page of Reddit tomorrow. You never know.
Oh my god. I could only wish to be front page of Reddit because that would get some fucking traction.
Yeah, and it also might get us DOS and well, I don't know. What do blue hairs do when they really want to hurt you?
They DDoS you, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like they're gonna shoot me.
Bravo.
I shoot back. Right?
It's the best part about the half of the politics that doesn't believe in guns. They don't have any. So your voice is louder, but how are you gonna back that opinion up?
Yeah. Just with your dildos?
What are those pink hats that the feminist people wear?
The pussy hats?
Is that what they're supposed to be?
Yeah.
The crochet threw me off.
Yeah.
Securing objective Bravo.
The hilarious thing is I'm not even like conservative red, and I think that like
The enemy's captured
the
2
absurdity
objectives.
behind like the
Move to
left
secure.
hand
I'm with you.
the left is just
Objective Charlie secure.
a bit abominable. I don't
Sure, you have strong opinions, but can you back them up with violence?
yeah. You cannot.
Said the non-conservative guy.
Taking Bravo.
Hey.
Enemy securing Alpha.
Violence isn't my
Enemy
first
securing
choice, but
Charlie. We control
you know,
It's always on there.
it's always on the table.
We've taken the lead. We're losing Bravo.
Yes, I just came from B. You were supposed to stay there, bud.
Enemy taking Charlie.
Me, the guy with the sniper rifle.
I don't care if you've got a goddamn 22. Shoot somebody with it.
The enemy took Charlie. Bravo secure.
Oh, so
The enemy took
Tech
Alpha.
says that there's nothing Christmassy about it. It just was a Christmas party.
I mean,
It was
is
a
that all
Christmas
you
pa-
need for Christmas to be in there?
It was a Christmas party on Christmas Eve. Like, it's totally a Christmas movie.
Honestly, they were there pretty late. It may have been Christmas.
Yeah. It was, because don't you remember?
That
it
was all
like-
night long.
Yeah.
He used Christmas-themed tape to tape a pistol to his back and shoot Hans Gruber in the face.
Yeah,
Enemy
because
securing Bravo.
ho ho ho, now I have a machine gun.
Yeah.
We're losing Alpha.
On your 6. Watch your fire.
Got another.
Objective Alpha is compromised. Take it back. We're taking Charlie. Enemies taking Bravo.
I think it's a Christmas miracle that he saves all those people.
Charlie secure.
Yes, it is. And that, yeah, and that he murdered Hans Gruber for Santa.
Was it?
Enemy secure.
It was self-defense. I'm not gonna call that one murder.
It's always murder. I mean, when you kill somebody, it's definitely murder. Like,
Yeah, it's not murder. Sometimes it's manslaughter, which arguably sounds worse.
I always said that. Manslaughter does sound worse.
What are you in for? Murder. Alright, what are you in for? Manslaughter. Oh god, look out for this guy.
Taking effective
Yeah.
There was slaughtering involved.
Tech, you're allowed to have your opinions, and you're also allowed to be wrong about them.
It's true. We went over that earlier.
That's just it, though, right? That's the whole point, is that your opinion isn't wrong. It just can be dog shit.
Oh no, I don't have opinions. I'm just right. Everyone else has opinions.
But that's the whole thing, is that's why opinions really shouldn't matter to anyone.
I'm gonna get him to put a Christmas movie category on Plex and put Die Hard in it.
He probably already has it on there.
I don't know if he has a Christmas category. I'll have to check.
Charlie.
It's on there though.
Objective Charlie is compromised.
I know, because last Christmas I had a hard time finding it to watch.
Harry
Well, that
definitely
probably-
believes that it's a Christmas movie.
Securing objective Charlie.
He took a rocket
You're
to the
halfway to
deck.
mission complete. We're losing Bravo.
And how did he take it?
No, he didn't. Alright, it was...
I've got your back.
He took it quite well.
We control 2 objectives.
From
As
my
though he'd
perspective,
practiced.
yeah, from my perspective, it looked like that rocket hit him, but it landed like, I don't know, 10 feet in front of him, so... Fuck do I know.
This is nothing like Spider-Man. I should be able to press, what is it, X, or B and X, and slide under the riot shield guys, and so I can attack from the behind.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh man.
Because I literally was just playing Spider-Man. Your guy comes at you with a riot shield, you just slide underneath him and kick the shit out of him from the behind.
I threw the wrong grenade. Threw flash at the guy like it was gonna do
We're
something.
taking Charlie.
It bounced off his face and he just gives you the stare.
Yeah. Well, he was using a
Right.
riot shield, so I definitely should have thrown the
Securing objective
Semtex.
Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Objective Charlie secure.
I failed pretty bad. At that.
Semtex would be slightly more effective.
Enemies taking
Rank up.
Bravo.
Some would say, not everybody, but some would say it's the most effective.
You're really
Highly
bad at that,
effective.
you know. You should no longer do it.
The enemy
Huh?
took Bravo.
Your impression is very bad.
Oh, I know. I'll never be able to do a good one, but I'm still gonna do it. And you know
You
exactly
can.
who I'm doing, so
Yeah.
therefore it's a good impression.
No. You could just deep fake in with a voice editor and have it just be his actual voice. There's enough lines recorded.
Oh, I should totally look up a bot for that because I do have a voice program, a voice changer.
Does that count as a slander, though?
The enemy controls 2 objectives.
Yeah, I mean,
Enemies taking
it
Charlie.
definitely would if I was like using it to like ruin his businesses.
We control Alpha.
As though you could do a better job than he has.
Yeah. Yeah, I could not.
Hostiles launched an SAE.
So that's a big thing in the IT world right now is that they're very worried about deep fakes.
Friendly counter UAV.
Yeah, it's getting pretty bad.
Yeah, because they're getting really good.
Enemies taking
Which, on the
Charlie.
one hand, that is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. On the other hand,
Securing
society is
objective
fucked.
Bravo.
Yeah.
2 objectives secure.
Because like, could you imagine right now if somebody could just like deep fake Biden and be like, "Come on, guys, I'm gonna nuke North Korea today, and then Russia, and then I'm nuking UK," like, and that just like made its way through like Reddit and Twitter. My God, the world would catch on fire.
I want to say that that video is out there.
Enemy UAV active.
I want to say that it's been done. That seems like something that would be really easy to do, and that some random guy would absolutely do just for shits.
Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't been happening. And now with Twitter having the blue check mark that you can just pay for, oh god,
Yeah, $8.
that'd be brilliant.
I like how Tumblr is also selling the important blue check mark for the internet for $7.
We hold all objectives.
You can stack them too. You can buy like 10 and have them next to your username.
That's pretty awesome.
It's just the important blue internet check mark. It nothing to do with anything.
Feind ist tot. Ach, scheiße.